Oh, I got some mud. Got some mud everywhere. Feel like the right farmer. I'm doing lots of stuff. Anyway, I need to focus. Focus. Woo, it's a fun being neurodiverse, autistic, and dyslexic, and ADHD. Everything is like intense. What was I on here for? Oh yeah, right. So you are allowed to bitch about men, okay? You are allowed to complain about white people. You are allowed to even hate a whole group of people in the sense of you're allowed to like be pissed at men, and you're allowed to be pissed at white people, and you're allowed to be pissed at cis people because they are in privileged groups, and those privileged groups do really stupid shit because of the powers and the power structures and the system that we live under, right? And it's very specific. The system is very specific, okay? So it means that certain groups around the world globally are privileged because of how those systems of oppression work, right? So it means that me as a white person, I have certain privileges anywhere I go in the world, and I've experienced this firsthand. Same if you're a man and so forth. Yes, there are some people that are prejudiced against those privileged groups, and unfairly so. However, well, unfairly so, that is a very important point actually. I'm like so nerding out with my gender studies master degree, but not just that. It's not about like academic prowess. It's not academic. It's just like there's like a few things wrong with what I just said, but also it's good to be a confident femme person, isn't it? So yeah, but like academia is actually kind of bullshit as well. But I have like first-hand experience of like gender because I'm non-binary, and then therefore I actually go beyond the gender binary and have certain perspectives because of that. But also because I've like survived gender-based violence and I grew up in a domestically violence household. I also have survived sexually like violence on a number of occasions. I feel like I am versed in knowledge of gender and how these things can play out in our world. And I have experience as, academic, volunteer, and work experience in that. Anyway, I digress. But everyone, I think it's important to remember that, like, people that have experienced or people that have studied gender should talk about gender. Everyone else, maybe you don't know what you're talking about. Like, obviously everyone experiences gender, but I'm just saying, if you're a privileged group, it's really in your interest to listen to the least privileged or less privileged group about a certain topic that they have a lot of experience in, because you probably don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? And you might sound like an idiot or waste everyone's time. And like, it's so frustrating, like having some fucking idiot waste your time about something. Like, the thing is, I'm not trying to be arrogant, okay, but let me just explain. Okay, when you exist in a privileged group, you have like blind spots, okay, because you don't experience oppression. For example, like in a gendered way, let's just take men, okay? That is like quite a big deal and quite a different perspective on life, okay? And yes, I'm not saying your life has been easy. I'm not saying that at all, or that you don't experience oppression in other ways. But sexism can't go backwards. Any oppression that is like according to this system, so it's in a specific way, like, and it's about specific history that you don't have, then it's not something you can just switch over, okay? So people talking about men or saying specific things about men and their behavior, that's not sexist, because that's not how sexism functions, okay? It's designed to help and support men. Yes, patriarchy damages men, but it's like they're still the privileged gender in the world. Anyway, so it means that like also because of our binary language in that we use in Britain, for example, let's just take us an example. Like binary language is like often made to be oppositional with gender, well, with many things, but let's just take gender as an example. So a lot of the time the actual conversations don't get very far because you're still talking about like, oh, so we're talking about equality for the genders. Oh, you believe like that men and women are equal, or have like you really believe that like we essentially people being like really silly in the first part of that conversation and basically showing me that they have no interest in equality. But it's also like a really just introductory, it's just it's such a non-point that, as in like, yes, of course we're equal and of course we deserve the same respect. And some questions and points like that are just so like, they're such an insult that like, yes, you're allowed to be disrespectful towards someone that is saying something that's so stupid and is wasting everyone's time and like disrespectful as well. So I remember, I can't remember exactly what you said, but I remember we went to this feminist talk where there's like a few feminist theorists, and like this guy just asked this really like just this question that was so, it just showed that he was really sexist and also like didn't really believe in equality between the genders. And the speaker was like, I'm so sorry, you're gonna think I'm really rude, but that question isn't dignified enough for an answer. She was basically like, but that question doesn't dignify an answer, or that question doesn't deserve an answer. I'm not going to dignify your question with an answer. So I was just like, oh my god, that's such a good, like, oh my god. I don't know what they're called, but when you like shoot someone, it's such a good like slay. I think is one word of saying it. Like, what a slay! Oh my god. Yeah. So you can use that when people say stupid shit, but it means that like, it's not just saying stuff, it's doing stuff as well. And there's patterns because of how we teach, for example, men to be, or white people to be. For example, men speaking over you, like, and so not listening to your ideas and putting them down all the time, and also like thinking their idea is the best and taking up loads of space. And like not listening when a femme person tells them something, but then listening when a man says the same thing. That's happened to me so many times. Anyway, yeah, and like men, you need to get on bitching about men. Like it's so good when like a privileged person in a certain respect understands that when you're bitching about men or white people or cis people, you're not bitching about like specific people, you're bitching about how they've been programmed and socialized, you know, because that is also not good for them as well. You're actually protecting them, you're actually respecting them by being like, yeah, fuck this, like fuck this, like this is fucked up all our lives, like to a crazy degree. Gender inequality, racism, colonization, like we would not be in this mess, anywhere near this mess, if we were people that like lived according to decolonization and feminism and respect and equality and anarchism and indigenous, like our indigenous roots, right? Like I'm not romanticizing our indigenous roots, but like, you know, it's not like corporate, like globalized hell. Yeah, anyway, and like, yeah, so like men, you need to bitch about men. Oh my god, like when one of my black friends came to me and she was like, Nadia, I don't think I can be friends with white people anymore, they drive me absolutely crazy. I was like, yeah, that I'm not surprised. Like, I'm not surprised. These are some really annoying things that white people do. They claim other people's culture often and like don't learn anything about it and steal it for themselves. Also, like white people take up so much space and like also just, yeah, like lots of white people pay a lot of attention to white people and listen to them the most as well. I've seen that pattern. And like also like white people often like cry when someone from the global racial majority like comes to them with some issues. Like a lot of them are like, oh, it's Bobby. I think I've probably done that actually, like a long time ago. It's so annoying. So like you're allowed to be like, I fucking hate the patterns that whiteness, like what that does to people, and I hate what patriarchy does to men and masculinity and stuff like that, you're allowed to be pissed off about that and not like that, and it should be spread to everyone. You are allowed to slag off privileged groups, okay? They can take the hit, they deserve the hit. And like, we are bitching about the system and what it does to those people. So it's everyone is on for along. You can come along for the ride, okay? We're all on the same team. It's us against the 1%, and we're gonna win. And they know they're gonna win. Says declassified CIA documents. They know they're gonna lose. God, it's so wild. The world is so wild. Anyway, so yeah, we can bitch about men. It's not a problem. And it really annoys me. Oh my God, it annoys me so hard when like people who are in privileged groups are like, oh, you're slagging off my privileged group. I'm equal to you. So it means that I'm now being oppressed. Oh my God, that is not what oppression is. That's not what oppression is. Like, you getting criticized and the institution of your privilege, men, whiteness, like being cis, that's being challenged in your favor. You're welcome. But like, you're feeling it like a threat because you take up so much space according to privilege that you like bulldoze over ours, and then anything when we're trying to take that space back, that feels like an attack. But it's just like reparations. We are owing of that space. And also, like, because privileges make you see the world in certain ways, there are certain patterns you follow, and it's really hard. And like, basically it means that yes, you can separate people according to groups because of how those groupings and identities have made their behavior, like, so it makes our behavior more likely in certain ways. Okay, so that's so frustrating, and it can be really damaging and is often really harmful and racist, sexist, ableist, transphobic, and so on. So you are allowed to have like an undervalued group with their own cultures and their own ways of responding to those things, and recognize patterns and labels for these things. It's so interesting as well, you know. There's so many benefits from critiquing like how we label the world in privileged categories, and like, it's in all of our favor. Like, racism is also super bad for white people. Yes, we don't experience racism, by the way. That's not a thing that can exist, because it's not like it's an asymmetric system of inequality. So like, you can't just swap it around, because that's not how the history is built, right? So you can't be racist towards white people because we don't have all that historical context of racism and colonialism, like, according to race. So you can't swap it around. And I was going to finish that point, yeah. And that's so frustrating when like, and it's a tactic as well. It's a power tactic. When people are like, oh, you're insulting men, that's sexism. You can't like do the same to me. Well, we're not doing the same to you, mate, because it's not the same, okay? Okay? Just, you're wasting our time. We don't have much time left, okay? And it's just a fucking waste of everyone's time. So please stop saying stupid shit. And like, just learn about equality. Then you will naturally know what to do. You'll naturally know about these things. You won't have to, like, yeah. It'll be so good. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. We need to just hurry up. Yeah. So when people are like, oh, we're on the same, like, well, like when like white supremacists are like, oh, I'm white and you're talking about white people in a negative way and therefore that's racist. Like, no, that's not, firstly, like in the structural, actual way that racism functions. Secondly, like, it's not, you're not on an equal level, like, playing field here where you're like, oh, like, that's not the same, firstly, but like, you don't have, like, you're just deflecting the conversation in a certain way away from what we need to talk about. You're deflecting it and you're making it all about you, and focus on your feelings, and like, focus on your feelings once again. And it like kills the conversation, and it makes it out like it's an equal playing field in terms of like, oh, you're being mean to me, so it's not the same, okay? Like, and saying it's the same is also like racist, because you're ignoring the context of what's happening, the racial context and the history and the colonialism and the racism. Same with, yeah, so it's just not, you can't reverse inequalities like that because they are not functioning like that. So yeah, that's why like people start to understand it more if you spread it to other things. So like you can't be just ableist towards someone who isn't disabled or not yet disabled. Like you can't be transphobic to someone who's not trans, cis people, right? Because it's like that's not how the actual oppression functions. So yeah, I know I've repeated myself a lot, but I just feel like it needs like clarity because people just don't get it. And I know it's like purposeful misinformation from the right wing. Like, yeah, that's its own like rant. But just shut up if you don't know about gender or racism or whatever, and like listen to people who do. You're welcome. This is, we're spending our time and energy and life force on this, and like as in people, what those of us that actually want to talk about it and find it interesting, like me, you know, yeah, let's listen to the people that experience these things. Like and I know I sound really arrogant when I'm like, listen to me, I'm the only important one. No, I mean like the space is full enough of like white people and men talking about their shit opinions. Sorry, no, talking about, this is why you can make humor like this, because you're punching up, and again, it's fine. Like it's fine. Like people should get it. People in the group should get it and be like, yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's better than punching down. I mean, that's a really great summary. Oh my god, my partner's back. I'm still ranting about this. But yeah, just listen to people that know what they're talking about, okay? Otherwise, just stop. It's just like, I know that the whole point is to talk crap and like make up stuff and make people really angry emotionally so that we don't think with logic when we're making decisions. We make decisions according to disgust, and we attach that disgust to the vulnerable people. And then that's why you just have this nonsensical, like crazy Nazi shit on the right wing. And yeah, please just listen to each other and love each other. And I want to make you clear, I love men. I love people. I love the people. And I love my men friends, and I love men. I probably love men like more than I should. As in like, definitely you should prioritize women much more, and femme people. And again, it's like patriarchy like inserting itself into everything. Like that's not in dispute here. Like people really need to separate. Yes, it's technically about all like men, but like it's an institution of men that we're bitching about, and that is in everyone's interest to bitch about. We need to do that, and we need to like take it down, and yeah, redistribute and rethink what these things mean, and like see that we're beyond and that we're all the same. And yeah, but I really love men, so that's not in question here. It's like the opposite. I'm doing this because I love men, and like I care about them, and I can see that this is devastating them and the world and everyone else that they love. So yeah, and we're not saying that the category of men shouldn't exist. Like men are people who have been impacted by these categories in certain ways, in relevant ways, where they might relate to each other more on certain things, certainly. And they might behave in certain ways because of how we've socialized them according to that category. So like whatever happens, these things are still going to be relevant, and we need to reference them, you know. So we have to sit in that paradox and like move beyond what we're doing in this world with gender. Anyway, enough like, that's what I love about gender, is like it just totally implodes your notion of the world once you really get into it. Like not that may have happened for you then, but I'm just saying, for even just me thinking about it, I'm just like pop. Yeah, it's so interesting. Conceptually, it just totally splits and melts your head, which is when I go into diversity work, it's really interesting. It's very like, yeah, it's very like Borderlands, which is like a theory, feminist theory. Anyway, I'm going to stop now because I could nerd out. But yeah, it's fine to bitch about privileged groups. Let's all do it together. Don't get offended. You can't be oppressed in terms of your privilege. Da, da, da. Please stop saying that. Thank you.